Tonight the Social Democrats will vote no confidence in Simon Coveney. Right from the outset, though, I would like to depersonalise the debate as much as possible. As we vote this evening, I would like our vote to be a rejection of the culture in which this controversy was enabled. A culture of arrogance at the highest levels of our state. One which facilitates those who have governed too long to believe that both they and the decisions they take on our behalf are both above scrutiny and, where necessary, consequence. We reject the existing cronyist culture where a minister can believe that only the person they favour and whose credentials and experience they place value on can be appointed to a position of a UN envoy. Beyond that still, we reject the outcome that because the public outcry was so vehemently against the appointment of a Fine Gael insider to such an important role without process, that Ireland is now without an envoy to the UN to advance LGBTQI+ rights, despite this being so clearly a valuable position and one which I believe the Irish public would like us to demonstrate leadership on. We reject the passing of blame, of telling a reporter on our national airwaves of what they can and cannot make a story of, a culture of deleting records, of telling the Irish people that lessons have been learned as a means of avoiding the responsibility for the actions that were taken. And tonight, what exactly are the government asking us to vote confidence in? I've listened to some of the most senior ministers in the state stand up here, and not one of them has attempted to debunk the fact that a political stroke was attempted. If so, Minister Coveney has had multiple occasions to set the record straight in relation to the botched appointment of Catherine Sapone, and each time his explanation has stretched the truth to the point of annihilating it. Minister Coveney is asked to believe that not only did Ms Sapone misapprehend the job offer that had been made on March 4th, she also misconstrued a start date. Ms Sapone's text message to Mr Coveney on May 4th is clear. You mentioned June as a start time. Minister Coveney tells us this explicit statement from Ms Sapone is a misunderstanding, and her earlier exuberance about the incredible opportunities she has been offered was preemptive. I am somebody that does actually believe that Catherine Sapone has made some service to the state, and I've visited Oncason on numerous occasions, and yet I believe that Fine Gael is attempting to throw her under a bus here. To make us believe that not only did she invent a job offer, that she invented a start date for this non-existent job. He asked us to come to this conclusion despite professing himself to be so impressed with her professional ability that he felt that she was the only candidate who should be in the running for the role of UN Special Envoy. More important to me than seeing a former minister and friend of Fine Gael that they were willing to sacrifice for the purpose of their own survival is the very concept of what does and does not constitute political lobbying and political patronage in this country. Every single person involved in the saga understands that power and access to it is its own form of currency. Tonight, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and the Greens want us to believe that a highly connected person who was found to be contacted and influencing senior ministers and diplomatic staff in the awarding of a prestigious job does not amount to lobbying. Beyond that, the Taoiseach has tried to diminish the story in early August by saying that a salary of $15,000 wasn't significant. The Taoiseach has described the role tonight as being part-time. There was, I believe, a time for contrition in this saga, when hands could have been raised in the air and said that we got it wrong and we'll go back to basics. That was a long, long time ago. In the intervening period, all we've had is waffle, avoidance of and obfuscation. Tonight, we in the Social Democrats will vote against this version of an Ireland Fine Gael wish to maintain. Tonight, we vote no confidence in Simon Coveney, but I hope it is clear that our absence of confidence extends to every facet of the Fine Gael brand and all that represents for our country. Good morning, Carly.